I want you to do a full body stretch there as well. So really lifting that leg, stretching the arm. Bend the knees, bring the arm to the floor, just bring it up towards the ceiling. Shoulder blades on the mat. And coming forward again. Oh, there's the most fantastic breeze coming in here now. So just as I've got you settled down, now I'm going to say to you to put your band around your foot, which wasn't good planning on my part, was it? Unless you're a good lassoer. Otherwise you're going to have to get up, sorry. So band around your foot, as always, toes sticking out the top. And you're going to hold it in one hand. Now, really, really important, I always say this, is do not pull so that your foot goes right back like that. You want your foot relaxed. So yes, you've got tension, but not like that. And that's important when we start lifting as well. So when we start lifting the leg, don't pull so that the foot goes backwards. You almost want to push your foot into the band, and that's where, so if I was raising it up, I'm pushing the ball of my foot into the bands rather than pulling on the band, all right? Just a safety precaution, because it's not good for you if you do that. Okay, so you can have both legs straight if you want, you can have the bottom leg bent, completely up to you. I'm going to start with those leg lifts that I've just shown you. So I'm just going to have the band fairly taut, my hand resting on the top of my leg, and it's not going to move from there. So when I come down, I push the ball of my foot into that band. Now believe me, this band doesn't make this easier. You think it would do. What it does do, which I love about them, is to really make your hip feel stable, like it's adding that extra kind of stability and strength to your hip joint. But by pushing into that band, you will feel the difference when you've done these. Okay, so coming back now to hip level. Let's do circles. So this is where you really feel the stability in the hip with using the band. I'm doing them really slowly, so I'll count the kind of speed you want to do with these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so keep them that slow. And reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not doing them too big because I want to really fire into the thigh. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest if you want to, otherwise that leg's going to come into a side kick. And as the leg comes back, that's when I push the ball of my foot into the band, lengthening out from my hip as I do. So push back. Now come forward for 1, 2, push the ball of the foot and lengthen through the hip. Keep the foot up, don't let it nosedive. Now when you bring the leg back, you're going to bring it further back, okay, but without rolling. So you're now squeezing the glute muscle as the leg comes back. Really feeling that in my thigh and hip, so if you need to rest, that's fine. Okay, keep the leg back and pulse. Just pulse the heel back, only tiny movements. And then bend the knee. Well done. God, you really feel those, don't you? So just give your bottom a rub there. All right, so what I want to do now is I want to tie the band quite tightly around either above, probably above the knees would be the best place for this. Just let me double check. Yeah, just above the knees. So I want to tie it quite tight. And don't worry, we'll only be doing this once. I'll make sure the flow of the session goes, that we don't have to keep doing this. Now I tie mine in a bow, just because it's much easier to undo than a knot, because a knot in these things takes forever to undo. So tie it once and then a bow. But you want your knees pretty, so mine is quite tight, okay? If that feels uncomfortable, you can adjust, but mine's about that much above my knee, okay? So coming back down then, we're going to be doing the clam, and obviously it's going to be a lot harder with this, so please don't strain too much. First position, I've got my heels back in line with my bottom, so my knees are going down, they're not right up here, okay? So let's get that core switched on, and then just do the smallest press till you feel tension, pause, and then bring the leg down again with control. Okay, and again, so just bring it out, pause, and then let's squeeze that knee down. Just because the resistance band's there, it doesn't mean to say we can't do the squeezing back down. So So this is feel really intense in your thigh. That's it. So you're just doing a little pause at the top and back down. Okay, let's do the feet up version. So again, bring the knee out, pause and down. What a difference, eh? Feels like times 10 of a normal one of these. And down, out. And if it feels too much, like this is my dodgy hip, I can feel it. If anyone else feels too much, then just undo the band. Bring the feet down, open the knee and just pulse. 10, 9, really gentle pulses, don't jerk. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax that foot. Okay, bring the knees up a little bit further, so now the shins are parallel to the edge of the mat. And we're just going to do a couple in this position. So you're going to open the knee this time, straighten the leg forward, flexing the foot, bring the foot back, foot to foot, knee to knee. So no different to what we normally do. So open, stretch, foot to foot, knee to knee. And again. Oh, they really hurt. Ooh. Well done, girls. One more. And relax, rub that bottom. We're going to do froggers with these round our legs, okay? So don't untie it, and you can do that either on your elbows. So Lillian will be on her elbows and I'll do them with her on my elbows. But if you want to be on your back, that's fine. So just come onto your back or up to your elbows. Band stays exactly where it is. For now, we're going to do one leg at a time. Okay, so have your feet hip width, if not a little bit wider, because that's going to give more resistance on the band. So I'm going to keep my right leg still and I'm going to bring my left leg out to the side. Pause. And back in. Now right leg. Try and keep the other leg really still as the other leg comes out to the side. Core switched on, pelvic floor lifted. Okay, let's do both legs. Keep them out and control them back in. Out, hold, control them back in, and again. All right, you lift your feet now, so they're in a tabletop position, and then feet together, knees wide. And just want you to do the tiniest pulses out into the band, just an inch, pulsing the knees outwards. Woo. Keep the knees out, and then push the feet up. So I'm in this position. If it's hurting on your elbows, come down onto your back. Keep the knees out and hold. 3, 2, 1. Bring them together and down. Stretch the legs long, flex and point your feet. Okay, just give the legs a shake. Alright, so I said we won't have to keep tying and untying the band, so we'll do side 2 straight away, starting in reverse this time. So we'll start with clams on the other side. Okay, so just take your time to get back into the position. So let's start with the heels back slightly and the knees at an angle going downwards, just starting with the clams. Make sure you're still on your front, so I'd rolled forward there, so make sure you're on your hip, you'll feel it much more. So just simple clams, squeezing back down, gently coming to where it feels comfortable as the leg comes out. Let's breathe out as you lift. In to come down, or whichever way round, doesn't really matter. I have got that feeling like I need a bit of a wee. Just adding to the core contraction. A little bit of a pause at the top before coming down. Let's lift the feet. Just doing them here. Really try and intensify that feeling, focusing on the top of the thigh, really try to squeeze it as much as you can. Okay, keep the leg out, and if you can, those tiny pulses. I'm barely moving my leg, it's just too painful. Ooh. And bring it down. Well done. Give your bottom a rub. Bring the knees right up. This time shins parallel. Okay, keeping the feet on the floor. You're going to open the knee, stretch the leg forward, foot to foot, knee to knee. So my foot's coming forward rather than up, but if you want to try and get it up more, you can, but you really feel it if you do. Ugh. I can't believe what a difference this makes. Feels like I've done 100 instead of just a few. Last one. Whew. Okay, undo your band. We're going to bring it around the ball of the other foot now. Don't worry, not too much up and downs, just this little bit. Okay, toes sticking out the top. Remembering not to pull on that band. Okay, now the bottom leg straight or bent. And let's do simple lifts. Push the foot into the band, especially as it comes back down. Rest the hand on a part of your leg and don't let the hand move. Push into the band. Okay, keep it hip height and very slow circle. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remembering to keep your balance by using your core. One more in this direction. And reverse. Two more. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Side kick. Push into the band to come back. You can still do the flexing and pointing as well, so it helps to push the ball of the foot if you try and point the foot to come back. And we do a pulse at the front, kick, kick, point, back. Start bringing the leg further back as well when you come back. So past the other leg, squeeze the bottom. Last one, then we're going to keep the leg back and then just pulse backwards and relax that leg. Well done. Okay, so you can do a glute stretch on both sides. You can either do that lying down or doing it on your elbows, whatever you want to do. Oh, there's a very noisy bird out there. Make sure you've done both sides. What am I doing? This is all concentrating. And then